Good evening once again, everyone. Thank you for showing up tonight. We were standing here a year ago tonight and it was like there was nobody here. So this feels much, much better. What we feel really bad about is the folks who were honored last year didn't get this kind of recognition. We had a wonderful virtual event, which a couple thousand people watched, but there's something about being in a setting like this where you can feel the love that we're sorry we didn't get a chance to celebrate with our 2020 honorees. So I would like to let you know who they were in case you missed them, and we will thank them for all they've done for our economy as well as our honorees this year. Last year's business person was Clayton Van Cleek from Van Cleek's Tire. A lot of folks know Clayton. The business of the year last year was SUNY Ulster. The small business of the year, Town and Country Liquors. Peggy Gordon. Congratulations. Our emerging young leader last year from our young organization, Nicole Foucault. The outstanding hospitality business of the year, the Wolfwood Golf Club. Our annual not-for-profit award, the commitment to the community award, but to our good friends at People's Place. Heritage Award, Henco, on Route 28, great local business. And last year, I know the selection committee spent more time on the Heart of Ulster County Award than probably all the others combined. We felt as if there were so many individuals, groups, organizations, people that needed to be recognized. Take yourself back to October of 2020 and look at the prior 6 months and what we managed to do as a community, as a region, as a county. So our honorees last year were all of the amazing Ulster County heroes, from our medical personnel, our nurses and doctors, our emergency responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, the frontline workers, and we asked in all humility to have Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan accept the award on behalf of all the many wonderful people who brought us to the pandemic last year. Pat, thanks for being with us tonight. And Pat, thank you for your leadership. We watched so many of your live broadcasts from the 6th floor of the county building. You gave us hope, you gave us inspiration, and you're right, as you said before, we are a very, very resilient county, and we have managed to come through it. So thank you again for all you've done and all you continue to do. We'd also like to take a moment before we honor tonight's outstanding cast. We want to thank our premier sponsors tonight, including the Emerson Resort and Spa, Ulster Savings Bank, New Advance Health, Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, Central Hudson and Roundup Savings Bank. Those are our premier sponsors. Our platinum sponsor is Community Products LLC. Thanks to our diamond sponsors, Town and Country Liquors, Rhinebeck Bank, Pursuit Lending, and Adirondack Pine Hill New York Trailways. Nice round of applause for all of our sponsors. And the most important thing, we love your applause. Please shop local, buy local. Think of all of them as you are buying goods, products, and services. They are amazing, great local businesses right here in Ulster County. It's time to begin our 2021 awards, and Dr. Alan Roberts, I think you're doing the first introduction. Please come forward.
Now I have the first awardee. What I'd like to say first is, what about the chamber? Where did that proud to be part of it. It's just incredible. And just one thing before I jump in, Jess, incredible. Yes. And Pat, thank you for the kind words. It certainly means a lot to us, especially from our point of view. So it means a lot. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Al Roberts. I'm the president of SUNY Ulster, and I'm the vice chair of the board for the next couple of years. And it is my great pleasure to introduce our first honoree of the evening, the 2021 Business of the Year. This company has been a mainstay in the community for decades. They have a fascinating tool for the variety of prestigious industries worldwide. We are proud to present this work. Their story, one in which makes us all proud that we put their roots down 80 years ago in our county. Incredible. We're proud to share with you the story of the 2021 Ulster County Business of the Year, Howmet Fastening Company.
Howmet has been a staple of the Kingston community for at least 70 years. Louis Hook was the original inventor back in 1940, where he invented an aluminum blind rivet to speed up aircraft manufacturing. In 1944, he invented the steel hook bolt. That's actually a two-piece rivet, but that was for the commercial industry. Hook became a very strong brand name in many, many different markets and continues to be so today. I think most people in the region know them as Hook, and I think that if we think of them as that, a small startup from Kingston that has grown and evolved into this multinational organization, we get a little bit better context for who they are and why they're so important. By 1965, Electro in Kingston was purchased into the Hook organization. Alcoa acquired the Hook Corporation back in 2000 and then split into Arconic and further split into Howmet Aerospace, of which Howmet Fastening Systems is a division along with engines, structures and wheels. We design and manufacture fasteners, which are rivets, and the installation systems. The fasteners are designed to be a permanent installation. When we're on the road going somewhere, I often point out a trailer or a truck to my wife and excitedly proclaim, look, there's a Hook fastener. It's the kind of product that we don't think about until we think about it, and until we're on that airplane or we're driving down the road and we see that truck, we understand how important their products are and that they're in factories all over the world making some really sophisticated equipment.
HFS Kingston has a full team of product design and manufacturing engineers, which uses a suite of sophisticated software to design and specify all of the parts we manufacture here. These designs are then realized through talented machinists and leading manufacturing principles using state-of-the-art CNC machines. This gives us the ability to manufacture well over half the components we specify right in Kingston. And all of those parts are then assembled by highly skilled personnel, tested, and sent to our customers globally.
And some big names include Boeing, Airbus, Mack Truck, Volvo, Daimler, Great Dane, Tesla, Ford, GM, and Amazon.
It's a very good environment to work in, always a challenge, always good customers to support.
We have 100 employees currently. We're looking to be 117 by the end of the year. We have a high seniority rate of 19 years, with the longest being 44 years, and the newest being 1 week.
We do look for people who have not just the right aptitude, but the right attitude, the right people that will fit with our culture, as well as good problem-solving minds to help support our lean manufacturing principles here.
Howmet has a proud history of operating in a manner that respects the environment. So we've adopted standards 10 times more stringent than the federal minimums. So from the top down, we are committed to being an environmentally friendly good neighbor. And as a safety professional, it's what I would hope all businesses would be.
When COVID hit, we did have a work from home policy for our office group. We had day-to-day changes, policies, procedures. We asked a large population of employees to now make their dining room tables their home office. And we asked another group of employees to still come into work as essential workers.
We did a lot of social distancing, one-way systems in the facility. We had social distancing at the time clocks. And to be honest, the whole workforce responded admirably. It was a phenomenal effort by everybody, and that's what kept us down to a very minimal amount of positive cases within the facility.
And I couldn't be more proud of our employees for 2020.
And another thing about the company is they've always been so generous, whether it's with the United Way or the Boy Scouts or so many community organizations, not just as a company, but their employees as well. They've been so involved. And without them, the community would be a much lesser community.
Whether it be a back-to-school drive for local schools, whether it be a personal care item drive for local communities and shelters, food drives, our employees step up, and that to me is success.
Being appreciated for helping the community is a wonderful thing. We have a great team in the Kingston location with lots of dedication towards supporting our community. I'm so proud to be a part of the team. We've had 3 different name changes in the last 3 years, so it's important for the community to recognize the same great folks doing the same great things from the Kingston location. And we've been bringing jobs to the Kingston location for over 50 years.
They also, just by the nature of their business, bring so much wealth into the community. Their customers are from all over the world. They're selling products that are in some of the most sophisticated equipment in the world. The revenue from those products come back here to Kingston.
I think it's great that Howmet is being acknowledged as being a leader in this area for a long time. It's a place where people come to work and they make it a career, which you just don't see much of anymore.
And finally, many thanks to Ward Todd and the Chamber of Commerce for this great award and the recognition that comes with it.
Hopefully the video said it all, really. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a transplant. It's a UK accent via Texas. I lived in Texas for 17 years. And for the last 2 years, I've had the honour of joining the Kingston team. And when I say I'm proud, I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's a fantastic team. They are so community orientated. It's just a pleasure working in the organisation. So thank you very much.
Okay. Our next honoree.
Thanks, Ward. And before I get started, I'd also like to thank somebody who's not on the agenda quite yet, and that is Ward and the rest of the staff of the chamber. Really did a wonderful job putting this together. Well, good evening. I'm Tim Hayes, and I'm from Central Hudson Gas and Electric, and I'm also a member of the Chamber Board of Directors. And our next honoree is one of the region's great visionaries, who we first honored several years ago for creating a world-class high-tech space in the Midtown Kingston area. Not satisfied with that, our honoree went on with a second transformation right here in the village of Saugerties. This local company took an old abandoned church, and during the height of the pandemic, managed to completely repurpose it into an amazing professional workspace. Please enjoy this video presentation about our 2021 Small Business of the Year Award to Jeremy and Dara Ellenberg of 32 Partition, 721 Media Center.
Like so many other small businesses, this one also started with a dream. I can remember back in the mid-90s when I was interning here, when it was WRNN TV, I walked these halls and I said, someday I'm going to own this place. So a light bulb went off in my head and I said, wouldn't it be amazing to create a media center full of media professionals like myself and get together with shared resources, shared technology, shared studio spaces, and all come together to create this amazing production hub for the Hudson Valley. People thought we were crazy to do this project in Midtown Kingston at that time.
721 was the perfect place for us. It sits in the heart of Kingston, Midtown Kingston, so it's easy for us to be able to service a lot of our youth. And everything's there
721 is now fully occupied. We have over 45 companies here doing great work in media, technology, fitness, construction, healthcare practitioners, professional services, not-for-profit, and even political offices. As we started nearing full occupancy, Bear and I realized that we needed to find an expansion opportunity to continue to meet the needs of the growing small business community here in the Hudson Valley.
32 Partition was a property that had blended into the landscape of the village of Saugerties for the past several decades. The property was for sale for a while, and nobody could really find a good use for it. And I thought, Jeremy did a wonderful job with 721 in Kingston, and it was time for me to do something similar in my hometown of Saugerties. I'm also a little bit competitive, and I figured, how hard could this possibly be?
Right from the start, it was very, very difficult. We had sloping floors to deal with, we had high voltage ceiling to deal with, services that were outdated, building codes that we needed to apply to this 1890 structure, and still at the end of it have a usable building.
The answer is very difficult, especially during a pandemic. Just trying to source labor and materials and everything else associated with a project of this scope during COVID was extremely challenging.
I've been married 11 years, we've had a lot of great projects. And this one kind of hit home personally because of the building. I stared at it every day and wondered what was going to happen to it. And when Darren and Jeremy approached the village about what they wanted to do, I thought the idea was phenomenal.
32 Partition is filled with many different types of businesses. We have a boutique hair studio, we have a yoga studio, we have web developers, we have jewelry designers, we have estheticians, we have mental health professionals. If you name it, we have some representation here in the building.
I was excited when she came to me and told me that they were getting a Saugerties location because I had spent years trying to find a convenient location in Saugerties that was affordable.
We wanted to create a state-of-the-art business center where entrepreneurs could come together, share ideas, collaborate, and really build a community right here in the village of Saugerties, which is something that has never existed before.
To be able to take this historic church that has such a strong history in Saugerties from the 1800s and make it a modern day building that people will be able to use and to thrive in, that's a great addition to our town.
The design vision was all about creating a juxtaposition, the old with the new, and blending it all together in a seamless fashion where people would walk in the doors and be wowed.
The front of the church when you enter is so beautiful, and there's these amazing doors that come down that actually create this private conference space. But when they're open, it just opens up to this beautiful sitting area with all of the stained glass, and I love giving my clients a tour.
This has a lot of historical details. The corbelling of the brick, the slate roofs, the intricate patterns in the roofing, the arch entrance, doorways, the doors themselves. All these are unique characters.
It's gorgeous. The landscaping, the sidewalks, the parking lot. I just had a tour inside. It's incredible.
Working with Jeremy and 721 across the last 6 years really put me in a position to understand what amenities individuals want while they're doing business.
The amenities here at 32 Partition are amazing. There's a large lobby, a really nice break room. There's an elevator that's accessible. There's also Wi-Fi here, which was a nice inclusion.
The bathrooms are something out of like a beautiful magazine. It's all part of being this community and in this building.
COVID was a time when so many people focused their attention inward, and Jeremy and I took a slightly different approach. We really felt that if we could turn our attention outward and help others in the community continue to do business, that in turn, those individuals would support us and our business.
At the beginning of the pandemic, we realized that we had to do things completely differently. We could not any longer hold large in-person events. So we did some brainstorming and decided to reach out to Jeremy Logan at 721 Media Center to begin to help us come together with a program of virtual events that we could host.
We turned to 721. They helped us create a Back to Business webinar series in which we did weekly webinars, sometimes multiple webinars in a week to get critical information out to help businesses survive.
When COVID hit, one of the most important things was for tenants and their customers to feel comfortable when they come back to the building here. That being said, we had to adopt many safety protocols and implement them right away. We installed MERV 13 air filtration. We installed thermal scans at the door entryways to check temperatures. And we had crews working around the clock to make sure that the building was sanitized and safe.
And 72132 Partition is the definition of a community-minded business. They support entrepreneurs. They are entrepreneurs supporting future entrepreneurs, and that's exactly what we need here in the Hudson Valley, and I can't wait to see what they continue to do into the future.
Really an innovative approach to how we're going to start to do business kind of in a post-pandemic world. It's just amazing, and I just can't imagine what their next venture is going to be.
721 is the type of company that truly focuses on people, our local businesses working together for the sustainability of our community.
There's so many businesses in Ulster County that were deserving of this award, just like we were. So I want to thank all the people that voted for us and all the continued support. I also want to thank the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce for making this award possible.
My mom and stepdad are very hard workers, and they deserve to win the Best Small Business of the Year award and the Best Project award as well. But please, Mom and Jeremy, no more churches. We need a long break from those.
Jeremy, you have to come forward. Is it a birthday?
Double digits.
No. Today? Is it today? Happy 10th birthday. Just got her a cupcake, flowers. You want to say a few words?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Ward and the Chamber for making this completely possible. My wife, we worked together as a team. We didn't kill each other during this process. It was quite a challenge, as you saw in the video. And so now we know where all the time was that we spent that we were way out of the house. Anybody that wants to come see the project, we're right up the road at 32 Partition, obviously. We're very proud of it, and we're proud to be here in Saugerties and to figure out what the next project we're going to be doing. So thank you very much. It was an honor, and thanks for voting for us as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Time for our next honoree, Keegan. Can we come up, please?
Good evening. I'm Crystal Jacob, and I'm from Ulster Savings Bank and the chair-elect of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. The next honoree loves to create ambiance and a sense of community. We selected our Highland-based Person of the Year for multiple reasons. Her dedication to her customers, her commitment to carrying local products exclusively, speaks volume about her business philosophy. On top of everything, her custom-made skincare products and essential oils are truly unique and really set her apart. So please join me now in congratulating our 2021 Ulster County Business Person of the Year, Renae Martin of Lilly Ray in the Hamlet.
So one thing about me is I don't tiptoe into things, I just dive head first. Renae is very hardworking, very dedicated. I actually opened my shop 3 years ago. I I was making skincare products for quite a few years just from home. It started out making them for myself, for my daughter, who was diagnosed with ADHD, and then epilepsy, and it was just one medication after another. So I wanted to supplement some of that medicine with something more all natural. So I started doing some research and taking classes about how to use essential oils and herbs and that kind of natural stuff. So different combinations of different things worked for Emily. A lot of people noticed a difference in her. They asked me to make products for them. And then one day just decided I was having too much fun being creative and helping people. I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna open a store, actual store. I said, I'm just going to carry everything local.
I feel from my heart that the shops in the community here are extremely important, and she's that local community spirit that has just been growing.
She is always doing something to grow her business and get out there.
Here I am 3 years later in a shop that is 4 times larger than the original location. I was originally on Commercial Avenue, which was in the village of Highland. I did really well. The community took to my shop amazingly. I very quickly became exactly what I wanted to be, which is in my mission statement. I wanted people to feel that they were coming to my shop because they felt like family and they were being taken care of.
And she wants everything to feel like a store from the Hallmark movies.
I've always said that from the beginning, like you watch a Lifetime or a Hallmark movie, and there's always that one little shop where everybody knows the owner. That's where I want it to be.
She is so dedicated. It takes her probably 90 hours in a month just to make all of her skincare products. And they go pretty fast. People like to work with who they like and trust. And you can like and trust Renae.
But sometimes I feel really bad saying that I did amazing through COVID. And I say that because I know so many other small businesses suffered and shut down and still haven't recovered. My business did better through COVID, and I grew through COVID. I believe that during COVID, with all of the loss and the hurt and the sadness of what was going on, really started to make people think more about their communities and supporting local. What I did during COVID was I just kept myself out there. I kept posting on Facebook and social media. I built my website, and I started doing deliveries. I was delivering to people. I would just drop things off on people's doorsteps. I would give them a call and say it's outside on the step. I did a lot of shipping, whether it was, local honey or tea, or a lot of comfort baskets, jams, cookies. I didn't have to close my door being a sole proprietor, but I chose to close my doors because I felt like, what am I saying to the community when everybody is so fearful that I'm saying, no, I'm gonna keep my store open? And I just felt that was a selfish way to look at it. I was gonna be creative.
And not only that, but her presence in the community and what she does for the community. If a not-for-profit comes to her and says, I need help, she's one of the first ones to always volunteer.
I honestly think it's because of how I treat my customers. These are my friends. This is my community. These are the people that come to me because they need something or they want something.
I believe Renae Martin, owner of Lilly Hamlet, is worthy of this award for all that she does in this local community and everything that she does for her customers, who she considers friends and family.
Ward and I played phone tag a couple of times. It was like back and forth, and then finally I called and he got on the phone. He told me and I went, what? What? It took a little while to absorb. Proud, super proud. But I'm still very humble. But it definitely gave me a whole new level of confidence with what I'm doing. It kind of just said, wow, you're doing something. I want to thank Ward Todd, the entire Chamber of Commerce, oh my God, my customers, my community, everyone who has believed in me and supported me. This is where I'm going to cry. Just for being there and for believing in me and taking a chance. Every time you promote a business or you talk about a business, you're taking a chance on them, and that means a lot. So thank you.
Renae Martin, please come up. Do you want to say a couple words, Renae?
I was told that I didn't have to say anything. But I have a group of rowdy women over there. So I just want to take another moment to thank you, to thank all of you, everyone, people that aren't here, again, for supporting me, believing me, and voting me for this amazing award that literally just said this morning that was a real thing. So, thank you.
Our next award presented by Tavern Murray from Harrison. If you would come up, please, Tavern.
I feel like it's the Ulster County Academy Awards. I'm sitting next to Kevin Quilty, and he told me if I talk to him, he's going to have the orchestra play me off. I'm very scared. I'm Tamara Murray from the Emerson Resort Spa. I'm also extremely proud to be a member of the Chamber Board of Directors. And speaking of amazing organizations, I'm here to talk a little bit about our Hospitality Business of the Year. They were chosen for a variety of reasons, not the least of which was the way they went about serving the needs of disabled adults during a major crisis. Our honoree did more than all they could and comfortably accommodate displaced adults and staff from New Horizons for an entire month. After their group home was nearly destroyed by a fire. Our next presentation tells this incredible story about our Hospitality Business of the Year, the Courtyard by Marriott.
Well, we had such a wonderful experience at the Courtyard. It was very uncommon for what people might experience at a hotel, but we provide supports to people in our community who are developmentally disabled adults, and we had a house fire. So we called the Courtyard for many reasons. One, we wanted to be close to where we lived so that our residents could continue with their day programs. We also have staff that have to get to our site, so we didn't want to be too far from where we lived, and they were a wonderful choice. But the real reason they were so wonderful to us was the way they made us feel. And they just embodied what hospitality is. It was meeting the needs of the guests. They just said, what do you need? You know, they were very concerned that this had happened to us, and they just took their business and said, how can we leverage it for you?
We're ecstatic, you know, it's a great feeling. It makes you feel good inside. It's something that we want to continue to do for others as well. And so we hope that we can inspire others to do the same.
There were about 10 residents. We have staff on 3 shifts. So we had about 15 staff probably that were involved over 3 shifts because we have counselors, we have the management of the house, and we have nurses. We brought all those people in, and they just really accommodated us so that they could continue their routine, which made them feel safe and comfortable during a time which was very difficult for them as well because they had been displaced on a moment's notice.
So our staff takes their time to really learn about our guests. We are passionate about service so memorable, our guests will tell stories about it. We really want to embrace the reason why they're here, find out if there's anything they need, and then we capitalize on that.
They tried to get rooms for all the people in our house close together so that our staff would be near them. They got us an extra refrigerator and turned one of the rooms into an office for us. So we had that for our staff where they could keep all their things so we could continue our medical record keeping. Our people were used to having family-style dinners, and they set up an area of their dining room out in front where we can come down and have family-style dinners so that our group could be together, be comfortable with the people they know, people that we support,
need a special place to get in and out of a house so that they don't get in front of cars. They set up the room so we were near an exit where we could pull up the van right by the exit. They just went out of their way to make us feel as truly guests and not just people who were paying a bill to come and stay overnight. And it was every member of the staff, not just management, not just administration.
We offer, first and foremost, great service here at the Marriott Courtyard in Kingston. It definitely is our model. We love for you to be our guests so that we can provide our service so memorable. In addition to our fabulous service, we have our bistro that's open for full hot breakfast. We have dinner as well. We also have a great bar that's open for happy hour from 5 to 7, and our bar stays open till 10 p.m. We have great spacious rooms with wonderful views of the mountains. In addition to that, we have a wonderful pool, and you can relax and unwind at the end of your day in our jacuzzi, and then you can have a nice drink at our bar. In addition to that, we have great meeting room space where you can host a conference. You can have a special event there.
On behalf of the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce, I just want to thank our friends here at the Courtyard by Marriott for all that they do for us here at the Chamber. We've hosted many business card exchanges right here at this facility and brought together members of our business community, local organizations to network and form meaningful relationships right here at the Courtyard by Marriott. I would also like to thank and commend our neighbors here at the Courtyard Marriott for offering housing and hospitality to those at New Horizons when they needed a roof over their head and a warm place to sleep.
They made it clear that they wanted you to feel like this was your home, and they do that for many people. When they did it for us, it took a little more work than they had to do, and yet they rose to the challenge. Truly, everybody that worked with them on a daily basis said the same thing and was so excited that they, when we heard about the award, that we were going to just nominate in some way beyond just thanking them ourselves, and that the community sees the value that we all can provide to each other as businesses, because we don't know when the day is going to come when we're going to need each other. They went way beyond the service that we paid them for, and that's what really was meaningful to us.
Well, that's our number one goal here, is to make sure that we take care of our guests. Sometimes it's difficult to find someone that genuinely cares about other people. And luckily, the Marriott makes sure to hire people that genuinely care. The same care we have for our staff members, we have for our guests, and we make them our family. And in turn, this becomes a home away from home for them.
This award is so incredibly deserved.
It means everything. We're honored to have received this award, and we can't thank you enough.
I'd just like to say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and Ward Todd for bringing this award forward, and for thanking the Courtyard by Marriott. It's a chance for us to thank them publicly and let other people know that the wonderful job they did for us, they're going to do for other people. And you should really put your trust in them. So we want everyone to know they have great service, and that if you ever have a need for this type of service where you need to have for a long stay environment, that they're a great choice, and we are proud to have them in our community.
The one thing for those of you not in hospitality should be aware of is that it's not a normal 9 to 5 day you have. And Christina said she might not be able to make it because of the schedule that she's on. So we wish her well, we congratulate her, and we're sure we get her award delivered to her out at the Courtyard of the Marriott. So thanks again to Courtyard for hospitality for the Mr. Quilty, you're up next.
Yes, it is. Thank you. My name is Kevin Quilty, and I'm with the Community Foundations of the Hudson Valley, and I'm also a proud member of the Board of Directors of the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce. But I do have a couple of observations before we go one is, I don't get this to board members here, we need to honor a sound engineer. And the second is, I missed a lot of the fastening system thing, which I never realized so much of it I had not a care in the world about, let me say. I can't fly in a plane now and not think about the wing falling off. Empowering the youth of our community is probably one of the most important jobs of any organization, any nonprofit organization that we have in our community. And I am so proud to be able to deliver this commitment to the community award tonight because I am a past president and member of the board of the Kingston Boys and Girls Club, and I was intimately involved when we did the first fund drive to build the building on Greenhill Avenue a millennium ago, and I was on the board when they transitioned to the Saugerties unit to add that to the roster of clubs. So I couldn't be prouder to be able to recognize the Boys and Girls Club of Ulster County. Everyone who's here tonight. Right, don't miss the video.
Growing up, I was not really, known because I was always in and out of, foster home.
The Boys and Girls Club for me was really a safe haven. It was a place where I can go and the lights were always on when they were off at home.
I moved into the foster house I'm in now, and she adopted me when I was 8. She actually brought me here for the first time, and I was like, what is this place? I really wasn't a social kid back then, but being here changed.
I attended the Boys and Girls Club between the years of 2005 and 2015. I moved from New York City and came here when I was 10. All my cousins went here, and all my school friends went here, so I decided to attend.
And a place like this really helps you learn a lot. They helped me breathe when I'm mad. I was just an angry kid growing up. I always had trouble, so I came here and my acts started changing. They always had activities for us, which was good because it kept us from doing stupid things outside on the streets.
That's what gives us so much joy, is being able to offer them that place where they can walk in and feel safe and feel comfortable and happy and have a good time and take your mind off of all the stresses that are happening outside of these walls. I think the biggest way we make a difference is just by being here and being present and being consistent.
I never used to open up to anybody, especially here, because it was like, I don't know these people, but I opened up to them eventually, right?
The whole point of the Boys and Girls Club is to provide a safe place that kids can go to and help them with mentorship programs and spiking their interest to find themselves in successful areas when they grow up to be adults.
When I met Dan, I already knew I was going like this. I went this way, and he told me to get another job. He told me to get my car together. Come on,
I always try to remind our staff that every day we do something special for our kids, even if it may seem small to us. And that's really the importance of being here and those doors opening every day.
He told me how to dress for interviews sometimes. She told me how to tie. It's still hard, but he told me a lot. Everyone really told me a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they're one of the programs around here that really commits to the kids. They're not in it for any other reason besides making sure the kids are taken care of and having them somewhere safe.
I guess the brightest part of every day is when the kids get off the bus and the kids come in and they greet you with big smiles and they're constantly happy, even in the face of whatever they're dealing with, right? I think there's a lot of labeling that happens with some of our members, and they walk through life in that. But when they come in here, that's not a thing. Like, that's not how they're treated. That's not how we approach anything that we do. And they just come in happy. And even when there's, banner devastation that's happening within our community, they still come in smiling. They still come in ready to have fun and jump into that gym game.
Coming here kind of helped me graduate high school. I got a scholarship from here, which helped me attend SUNY Delhi because I couldn't afford it myself. And I graduated from SUNY Delhi with an associate's degree, and I just graduated from SUNY Empire with a bachelor's degree.
So without the Boys and Girls Club, for sure, I wouldn't be able to do those things. And now I own a basketball training company, which I'm lucky enough to have people like Dan who does a great job helping me out and making sure that the kids are in the right place where they need to be. And
Rohan's a real special person, and he's a good picture of what club members are when they leave. Because, you know, our goal is, yes, to provide services and to provide mentorship and to help our kids to become the best version of themselves, but also to instill that it's just important to give back to the next person that's coming up behind you. But Rohan is just a perfect example of that. You know, basketball is ingrained in the Kingston community. It's a big part of it. And Rohan is someone who found a niche and not only used it for his success, but helps others that are looking to have success down the same path.
Our thought process as an approach is to help them be better members of society, help them make good choices, help them understand their worth.
My well-being, so positive and it is bringing negativity. No matter how much the trauma is outside the streets, everyone's going through, they have a good sons.
I approach every child that walks into our doors the same way, of giving them love and attention and care and guidance in terms of listening to them, giving them an opportunity to lead, giving them an opportunity to have their voice heard.
I think the award is more than deserving. I think it's kind of long overdue. I think there's great things happening in the community through the Boys and Girls Club.
This award is a great privilege and great honor. We can't do it without our community. And there's so many layers to the community that makes the club the club. We do run a great program, we do great things, but it's all a product of the community. It's a privilege to be honored in this way for what we do. We can only move forward as a society through the next generation coming up, and it's important that we invest into our youth and make sure that we're giving them the ability to have at least the life that we live, if not better. We're happy to be able to do this every day, and we can't do it without the support of this community. This award is extremely special to us, and it means a lot to me because it means a lot to the staff. So with that said, you know, I love to be able to sit here and have these conversations about us and what we do, but I think this is something that staff can hang their hat on. They know what our mission is here, and they're all completely bought into the mission. And I think it's going to be great for the staff because I can tell them, great job, thank you, but this is truly the community that supports us, supporting the community, thanking them, and that's the best part for me.
If you would say a few words there.
Thank you, everyone. Again, my name is David Brown. I'm the Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club of Ulster County. And I want to say just what a privilege it is to be here tonight to accept this honor. It was great also, Kevin, to have you introduce us with your own history with us. I just want to give a couple quick thank yous. A couple was touched on in the video. We're very lucky and fortunate to be a community organization that's ingrained with what Ulster County is about. We believe investing into our youth and to help bring up the next generation and to continue to build strong morals within Ulster County. With that said, we work at this every day, but we're only as strong as the support that we have in our community. So standing in a room and accepting an award from those who are the most supportive is a great honor. So, I mean, we're in a room right now with several board members, with big community sponsors and supporters, people who are supporters of the club and friends, as well as Steve Kennedy's about to get an award in one of our auctioneers at the most important night of our night, of our year. You know, Steve Kennedy. Feels really, really good for it to be so full circle and to receive the acknowledgement from those who are supporting us, that we are doing what we need to do and that you will support us. So with that said, honestly, we'd be nowhere, as hard as we work and as talented as our staff is, we'd be nowhere without your support. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Secondly, like I said in the video, to accept this award is great, and I love to be able to lead an organization that has a staff that's 100% invested into our mission. There's not one person that works for us that isn't totally into what we do, and I'm very lucky to say that. So, it didn't feel right to just accept it, to come in and just be the person in the room that accepts it. So we had to bring our staff with us tonight. So I'm gonna be that guy that I hate. I'm gonna ask my staff, please stand up. Yes. I'm gonna be that guy. Please give it a round of applause. In that video, Isaiah, talked about, how he said that, I helped him learn how to tie a tie, and it was, something that I actually forgot. And it's important that, it's like I say to the staff every day that we do things every day. We don't post it. We don't throw it all out there. Every day our staff is working with our kids and making strides that are very important to them. It's just what they do every day. They go in and they're very special staff. So I just want to thank you all for what you do, because none of this is possible without you. And the last thing I have is accepting this award is great. You often get rewards after you do something. That's great. But I love the title of this award. Thank you for what you guys do, because this is not an award for what we're doing. This is a commitment from us to continue to do what we're doing. So thank you all.
Hello again. My name is John Burlingham. My business is American Solutions for Business, and my second job is the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. There's a lot to be said about family-owned businesses, especially when you're growing an already established company with your son and daughter. Our next honoree is being honored tonight for the Heritage Award, where we recognize a great local multi-generational business. Started almost 50 years ago, the company continues in the same great tradition of quality work and exceptional service as it did when the company began. Now, enjoy the story behind this strong and successful family-owned company. Our 2021 Heritage Award honoree, J&J Sass Electric.
It's quality work, it's honest, but it's also that personal touch of what else can I do to help. If I call Jimmy, or if I call James Jr., or if I call one of his guys, I get the same response, because that's ingrained in this guest director team. When I call Jimmy, he calls me back, and he actually gets the job done. In 1973, two brothers, Jack and Jim Sass, who had worked for Joe O'Connor Electric, decided to go in business after Joe had retired. With no business experience, they rolled up their sleeves and started Sass Electric. Their first job locally ended up being the Deli Freeman building, but they also did a lot of work in the city of Kingston, doing bank work and residential work, and a little bit of IBM work at the time. Over the years, James Sr. did wiring in my house. This is 30 plus years ago. I have never had a problem with the wiring in the house. My grandfather, Frank Sass, was an electrician. He worked out of his house down on Hunter Street. And back then, the city of Kingston decided that they were going to have licensed contractors. So my grandfather took a test and he got a license, and they gave him the number 3. After that, he had retired, and my father and my uncle had worked for O'Connor Electric, and they ended up taking over Sass Electric. So my father asked for his father's license after passing the test, and they gave him number 3. And then unfortunately, back in 1991, I lost my father. So when I took the test and passed, I asked for his license. So today, J&J Sass Electric still carries electrical license number 3. Before it was Sass Electric, it was James Sr. that worked as an electrician. For those that will drive across the Kingston Right Bridge, he and his nephew did the wiring for all the lights on that bridge. So each time anyone was to cross that bridge, think of Sass Electric.
So here at Sass Electric, we mainly do industrial and commercial type projects. Our coverage area besides Ulster County is Dutchess County, Sullivan County, Putnam County, Orange County, and Westchester County. Some of the projects that we've taken on are wastewater treatment plants. We take on a lot of schoolwork, We do a lot of Bank of America, Ulster Savings Bank.
Yeah, they have done a multitude of things from electric, Cat5 cabling. They've done installing projectors, installing screens to hide them to make rooms look professional. They've done lighting remodels, so the gamut. It's not just electric, I always think anything with a wire they can figure out.
Trust and loyalty to my customers, to me, means doing the job right the first time. My father and uncle spent many, many years building a foundation of success for this company. I just basically built upon their foundation and expanded our services to what we have today. Our largest project to date was an unfortunate fire down at the Gap building in Fishkill. It happened 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a total gut. We were in-house electricians, so about 4 o'clock in the morning, they immediately started calling our numbers, and we showed up that morning. Over the time of the next few months, we actually did a design build, we did an evaluation. We ended up being on site for about 1.5 years on the rebuild. So we did the total rebuild of a 1 million square foot warehouse, and that job alone was in excess of $10 million of electric work.
We've worked with the business for going on 20 years now, and it seems like the relationship hasn't changed no matter how big Jimmy gets.
There are a lot of positives to be said about family-run businesses. To be able to come to work every day with my dad, my brother, and employees that are like family to me, it's a privilege that I don't think any of us take for granted. Working for a company that was started almost 5 decades ago by my grandfather gives me such a sense of pride and purpose, more so than I ever would feel working for another firm.
Working with my children has been an absolute unbelievable experience. To me, what's unique with Jimmy on the electrical side is that he comes in my office and he'll ask me some questions. He utilizes my experience to help him do his job well. There's a lot of communication that goes on, and that's all important stuff when we're putting together a bid for a customer. We want to make sure that when we give out a price, it's the right price.
Well, when he's not on the golf course, working with my dad is great. It was very helpful. Training me in the estimating program that we have and project managing. He's a great resource and wouldn't want to work for anybody else.
With Jess, we work on the accounting side, so we're constantly looking at accounts payable, accounts receivable, and working closely with her department, just making sure that the cash flow of the entire company is doing well.
My dad and I, we've always had a great relationship. He was always my softball coach growing up, and so working with him, getting to see him every day, it's great.
Whenever my dad decides to step away, which we're not pushing him out by any means, but we would be, very, very grateful to have this company, for the next few generations.
With Jimmy and Jeff's on board and them learning every single day, the business has a future. And then with Jess just having Emerson, our first grandchild, who knows that maybe we'll be here for a very long time. The Heritage Award is a special award. I've noticed through the years a lot of great companies have received the award.
I think it's a great honor for us.
It definitely is an honor. I think it's just a great tribute to how my grandfather started this company from essentially nothing, and we built it into what it is today.
I've been actually waiting a long time to have something like this come our way. I'd like to thank Ward and his committee and the Chamber in general for this award. I'd like to thank my wife for sticking by me for these years, and my kids. I've surrounded myself with such quality people, and without them, Sass Electric wouldn't be the company that it is today. So thank you.
Again, thank you, Ward and committee, for having J.J. Sass Electric with this award. One of the things that the video didn't capture was my two vice presidents that I've had through the years. The first one was Jay Haymon. I retired about 10 years ago. He was always my right-hand man when I was quite a few years ago, back when I basically took over the business. And then about 8-9 years ago, to my left here, Sal Cavaya, he is now my vice president. He was actually the guy in the video that when we talked about the gap job, Sal actually did the entire design build. So without Jay and without Sal being on my right hand man, Sass Electric wouldn't be the same. So again, my family's here. I want to thank them for coming up tonight and thanking the community for this award. Thank you.
Our next honoree will be presented by Jen Fabiano. If you'd come up, please, Jen.
Well, hello and good evening. My name is Jennifer Fabiano. I'm the Director of Marketing for Rondout Savings Bank, and I am a member of the Chamber Board of Directors. I'd like to start by congratulating all the great honorees this evening for your accomplishments. They're very well deserved. Our next honoree is quickly gaining recognition for his extraordinary entrepreneurial spirit. He's being recognized tonight as our 2021 Emerging Young Leader because of his creativity, his work ethic, his determination, and downright just an engaging personality. We think he is a bright future ahead of him, and we think you'll agree when you watch the presentation of our Emerging Leader of the Year coming up. So I'd like to congratulate Stephen Kennedy from Turn Up the Beet, and I would like to say that I am a patron there. I go every week, and I get his compressed juices, and they're amazing. So thank you for all you do for the community. We really do appreciate it.
I always want to just make somebody feel the way I would want to feel.
He's a great, energetic guy who always seems to be inquisitive, always having great conversations.
And Stephen has one of the biggest hearts around.
I know it's an asset to me no matter what in life, whether it's small business, whether it's any relationship, just putting yourself out there.
You know, someone who's homegrown from this community, graduated Kingston High School, and just is always willing to give back, and it seems like he's always willing to learn and look for that next step.
He gives it his all, and he loves each and every one of his customers.
The number one thing I've learned is you got to be in it to learn it. I didn't have a name for it, but I started juicing from home back in 2017, and I started posting all the photos, videos of it on my Instagram, my personal page. I kept getting messages from people, I bought this from you, so I started a little juice delivery service, and my wife Cassidy would help. Eventually it built up, and I was like, I should try to do something with this, and at the time I had a full-time job, so it was a little tough. And I just took the leap in 2018. And luckily we live in a good area in the summertime that we grow some great produce. I grow a lot of my own stuff, a lot of my own greens, cucumbers, so it's convenient to load up before I come in. I run a pretty tight-knit operation, so it's minimal prep work. I try to make it as easy as possible for myself, knowing that I'll be here alone. I do fresh juices, and the acai bowls are what kind of changed the whole dynamic of the business. Acai comes from a berry from the Amazon, from Brazil, high antioxidant superfood. So pretty much it's blended down into a sorbet form and topped with some homemade granola, fresh strawberries, blueberries, bananas, a shredded coconut, and raw cacao. And you can customize it however you want. A lot of people do some almond butter, peanut butter, some fresh pineapple. Nobody really sold them around here. It started off slow, but now it's hands down my top selling item.
Not only is it healthy, is it a great shop, it's something different on that strip, and I think it's great, especially for all the kids that walk by that we just see a healthy choice and someone from our community being successful that they can be like when they grow up.
The best thing that Stephen Kennedy has done for Kingston is actually open this business. Because without these options, these healthy options, Kingston would fall short of that. There's a time right now where more and more people are thinking farm to table, healthy options, and Stephen really fills that void.
I credit a lot to Joe B because, well, first of all, he taught me my work ethic
When you are working in food service, it is a service business. If you do wish to continue operating in that type of business, then you must always think about the customer. And Stephen thoroughly understands that.
We worked a lot together, we had an awesome rhythm, and we learned how to work fast in high-stress environments, which is why I think I lean towards the fact of working alone, because I can't handle it, and I've been there before.
Stephen started working for me at a very young age when my business was on South Manor Avenue. He was a neighborhood kid, but he always gave it his all, and he always watched and learned.
There's a lot of young entrepreneurs that want to do it all straight from the beginning, and the key is to just make friends and be honest. Don't have a big head about it. Start off small. My wife and I had a beautiful baby boy. His name is Mason, born on June 14th, the day before my birthday. So that was a nice birthday present. He came out 10 pounds, 4 ounces, so he's a healthy big boy. He's sleeping good, allowing me to run this place and not be tired and still be happy and motivated. It's definitely different. It's a different outlook on life. It's different to run a business with a child. Again, like this, it's full 360 of emotions, having the community on my back, being able to do this still. My concept on this business model was like the saving grace for COVID. I think I felt more emotionally hurt for my friends and other people I know that had bigger businesses that really suffered. I ran it alone still through COVID. I shortened my hours. I put a walk-up window up front, which really helped. And even in the wintertime, I was worried about it, but everybody stayed true. It really showed how much people care, you know, and we ordered out a lot to local restaurants during COVID, and I think our community did an awesome job. The world's kind of in a weird place. Ideally, I would love to open another location. I've also thought about doing some type of pop-up food truck. So yeah, I always have ideas, which kind of makes it why I did all this. My mind's always running creatively. I want to do something, definitely. I want to keep this thing going, and I want to try to do something else pretty big.
Stephen Kenny deserves the Young Emerging Leader Award because he is a natural leader.
I know the community sees that I'm a one-man operation, and I do everything for my business, and I try to do everything I can for the community.
A lot of people think that when you open a business, you are in it for the gold, and in a way you are, but you do have a lot of responsibility towards the community and your customers. And Stephen really understands that.
I have such great support, family, friends, you know, community. I want to take this time to thank Ward Todd and the whole Chamber of Commerce, not only for this award, but just everything they do for Ulster County. I remember being young and going to chamber mixers with Joe B's next door, just feeling special, like having my name tag, having Joe B's underneath it, in the different businesses that would cater food. And, you know, I met a lot of good people at those events, and I just feel humbled for this award now. You know, it's cool to go to these events with my name and my business on the tag and meeting other upcoming businesses that have been around for 50 years. I want to thank the whole community for that, and everybody who supports me and everybody I'm going to meet in the future.
A tough year for everybody. You know, everybody struggled. Everybody came through as a community, and though it was a tough almost 2 years, I've never been more proud to be part of a community or part of a place. Without you guys, without all your support, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you so much.
Hello again. Before we move into the Len Kane Heart of Ulster County Award presentation, we would like to take a moment to recognize someone that you don't see listed on tonight's agenda. This person has shown up each and every day for the Ulster County community and beyond, both before and through the pandemic. He led his team and our community through a most challenging time with steadfast commitment. He listened to the needs of this community, leveraged technology, embraced new processes, and came up with creative ways to keep us connected, informed, and moving forward. On behalf of the Ulster Chamber Board of Directors, I would like to recognize the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce President, Ward Todd. And the entire team of Ulster Chamber for being recognized and awarded by the New York State Business Council as the 2021 Chamber of the Year. How is the please come up and say a few words?
We're already clapping, so I don't have much more to say. But, Ward, you are a phrase that I try to use, servant leader, which means you put everybody before yourself, and you're humble and you don't want to seek the credit, so we want to make sure we did it for you. It got drowned out by the thunderous applause, but I think it's important to say the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce this last year was recognized statewide as the, let me get this right, I believe it's the Business Council of New York's 2021 statewide Chamber of the Year, specifically because of how this team rallied during the pandemic. And it's not just Ward, it's Jess and the whole team. There were some dark days walking the streets of Kingston when you literally see no one, literally no one. And I still remember Jess Davis driving by me, and I was like, the only one in Uptown Kingston, driving by me, waving hi with that smile that just made me feel better. So the whole chamber did that in a ripple effect way across our whole community. So we want to specifically embarrass and honor you. As a small token, this is a proclamation on behalf of the 180,000 residents of the county for your work and service and leadership, and we can't thank you enough for everything you've done.
Spooch.
Oh, no, please. Every single person who got up tonight, I think, talked about their team and how they'd be nothing without it. And so, yeah, Jess and Allison and Val and Carol and Ingrid. I'm not very smart, but I can pick very talented people. And thank you, Pat, so much for your kind words. So our final award of the evening recognizes a friend of ours who made this world a better place and whose legacy is not just in his beloved brewing industry, but in our hearts and minds, which will live on for years to come. This man truly left a lasting impression on all of us. He was loved by all who knew him, and his contributions enriched our community in countless ways. We still so miss him dearly, and I know we feel his presence with us tonight. Please join us now as we honor the life and legacy of Tommy Keegan with our Lynn Kane Heart of Ulster County Award.
He was bigger than life, and you knew it. You knew Tommy was in the room, and you were happy that he was in the room, and you were even more happy to be in the room with him.
Tommy Keegan, how do you describe Tommy? I don't think there's enough words in the English language to describe Tommy. Gregarious, huge heart, funny as I can't say it on the screen.
He had great chops. He was an excellent at brewing beer. He was smart. He was generous. He was intelligent. He was fun to be around. He had all the characters that make everyone want to be around him. He wasn't one thing to your face
nice, awesome person, and you couldn't really ask too much more for an employer and a friend, too.
When I think of Tommy, I think of generosity. He always found a way to help people, and I know there's many things he did that people didn't know about. That's a true leader. That's a true giver, and that's who Tommy Keegan was.
He was always lending a helping hand, really willing and able to do anything to bring the community together and make sure people were having a great time.
I don't think anybody loved Ulster County, loved his patrons, loved community, loved every organization in Ulster County more than Tommy did. I think he contributed to every single one of them, whether it was beer, whether it was hosting an event, whether it was writing a check, participating, sending staff to help out.
If I ever needed something, I just picked up the phone and said, hey Tommy, can we use your freezer for Thanksgiving? We're getting 1,400 turkeys, and he was there early in the morning, having his staff move the pallets back and forth across the street.
I work closely with People's Place on a lot of different things, and something will come up, like a small logistical problem or something that we would need, and we'd all say, Tommy Keegan, Tommy Keegan, Tommy Keegan's got the answer, Tommy Keegan will help us out.
18 years ago, after we lost our mom to cancer, I decided to move back to Kingston. Shortly after that, Ozzy Biker introduced me to a new brewer in town, Tommy Keegan. Tommy and I became fast friends. He was a huge supporter of our Bike for Cancer Care, and it was our honor to remember him this year at our 5K run at this year's Bike for Cancer Care.
People are going to remember him for decades to come, and I think what they will remember most is his amazing generosity and his larger-than-life personality. If you wanted to have fun, you would go and hang out with Tommy Keegan.
Tommy had a policy for a while where he would donate beer to one charity per week, and he stuck to that for years. And he understood a lot about what it takes to be in a small community and how to contribute to it.
His humor and his pure, unadulterated love of helping the community will be his Tommy's legacy, and that'll be a lasting legacy, I'm sure.
Tommy's reach went far beyond Kingston. What he always reminded people is now famous saying, have fun, play nice. The Keegan Army, as a running club started by Tommy, was the top fundraiser at this year's Bike for Cancer Care, raising more than $19,000. They brought the energy, and they will now help us help over 100 families fighting cancer in our community.
I first met Tommy Keegan. We were just starting the club back in late 2015. I went to the brewery. I was to meet him for the first time. I was so nervous. I was, to meet him. I was talking a mile a minute about all the stuff we wanted to do, putting people together and everything. And he looked at me and he said, "Dad, slow down. Just tell me what I can do to help." And I think that is Tommy Keegan in a nutshell. Anything that we needed, he was there to help.
He was a good time guy, great person to hang out with and have a great time with, yet he was firm and a smart businessman. He understood what it took to run an extremely successful business here in Ulster County.
Creating a community gathering place that this brewery has become over the years was, I think, his greatest legacy. Everyone who feels like a part of this community and holds this community dear has had a beer at Keegan Ales. And it's a place to celebrate good times. It's a place to, commiserate bad times. It was just the place where you came when you wanted to be around friends.
Craft beer all over this country owes Tommy a debt. He's had so many, countless people come under his wing that he taught everything he knew, that went on to work at all the biggest breweries all over the country.
He was a pioneer in many ways. He was one of the first people to put stakes down in Kingston. There were previous microbrew places, but none of them had the vision or the entrepreneurship to make a community brewery possible.
And what I think this community will really deeply miss is the fact that he would bend over backwards, literally, to help anyone or any organization accomplish a goal.
One other memory I have of Tommy is when we were creating what's now known as Sample, Sip, and Savor for the Benedictine Health Foundation. We had secured a restaurant, and now we needed beverages. When I approached Tommy and pitched the idea to him, once again, whatever you need, brother. So that first night, there's a lot of energy, a lot of people. We didn't know what to expect. And I'm saying to myself, where's Tommy Keegan? All of a sudden, he shows up with a mobile bar. Taps mounted, ready to go. And there he was himself, the owner and founder of Keegan Ales, pouring beer for over 200 participants. And the best part was he did it with a smile. We all know that famous smile. And again, another event made successful by the help of Tommy Keegan.
I was so fortunate that we got to know him over the last 5 or 6 years. We miss him so much, and I'm so happy to see that he's being honored with this award.
Everybody knew Tommy Keegan, and everybody loved Tommy Keegan, and he was all heart. So of course, he deservingly should receive the Heart of Ulster County Award.
You know, this honor is beautiful and sad at the same time. When we came up to Kingston in 2003 and saw the opportunity to start our brewery here, we were all about getting people to be together that wouldn't normally fit a normal pattern at all. We had places that we wanted to see the guy in the suit next to the guy with the spikes off of his jacket. When we started seeing that come in, it was amazing how the community reached out to us, put out their hand, and welcomed us in with huge open arms. And we were so taken aback by that. As we started getting bigger and bigger and saw that we could help and put our hand back out, that was all Tommy wanted to do. And so as Tommy got more and more involved in the community, helping out everyone who reached out to him and to the brewery, he got sucked in more and more how much he loved Kingston. So it's wonderful to see him recognized for everything that he did. So it's a big thank you award, and the entire chamber and the community, because that's what he was all about. And we just absolutely love, you know, basically how the community came out for all of everyone, especially for Tommy.
Of course, picture first.
Picture to look like they
Oh, geez. Louise.
No, wait a minute.
All right. We're done with pictures. Right? I think, do we have enough pictures?
We're
You do it again if you want. Okay, don't go away. I have a couple of things to say. Angel Food East would not have made it through COVID without Stephen and Turn Up the Beet. Thank you. Honestly. Angel Food East, we called you at least once a week, maybe twice, sometimes 3 times. We need sustenance, and we came to you. Thank you for that. Also, I'm going to channel a little Tommy Keegan right now. And if I want to say, first of all, thank you for sticking around for the end. Those of you that did, and all the ones who didn't, we know who you are. Yeah, I took notes. No, but seriously, those of you who stick around, thank you for being here for Tommy, and that's really a big deal. I just lost my train of thought. I had 2 more things to say. Oh! I'm going to echo Kevin Quilty and say next time, Keegan Ales will definitely sponsor the audio engineering. Anytime you need it, Keegan Ales will sponsor that. We got you. We're back. You got your back. That's 1. That's 2. What's the other thing I was going to say? Oh, wait. I think it was 2009, when Keegan Ales won the Small Business of the Award, Small Business of the County Award, and it happened to be also Uncle Bill's birthday, And you probably don't know Uncle Bill, but we know Uncle Bill as Bill Clunan, and it's actually Uncle Bill's birthday again today. Uncle Bill. So how weird is that? I have a feeling that's like there's something, I don't know. That's all I have to say about that. And I'm going to turn it over to Tom's dad.
Thank you. All I know is to say thank you very much. I could not be sad, and I could not be proud to be here in front of all of you. And I've got a 1,000-word speech that I would like the 250 people in this room to stand up. Stand up, everybody. Let's do it with you. And join with me in that speech. Have fun.
Yes.
Words to live by. Thank you so much. Could I just ask, I think probably appropriately enough anyway, is thank for their stewardship and their leadership and their guidance and their comfort and their kind words, members of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, John Burlingame, Chair, the rest of you all stand. Many of you came up during the presentations. Hello, please stand up. Thank you so much for your guidance and your leadership. This is a great organization led by these wonderful, wonderful people. And I already thank our staff because you guys are amazing. That's our program for tonight. Thank you so very much for being with us. Nomination forms for next year will be online very soon. Please nominate your favorite local business. Again, to all of the honorees, let's have a nice round of applause.